Hola chicos y chicas del IES Casas Nuevas. Welcome to our deep dive today.
Hey everyone.
So, today we're going to be talking about something that's super important, especially for you guys.
Yeah.
And that is staying safe online.
Right.
You know, the internet's a really fun place, right?
It is.
There's so much you can do, so much you can see. And I'm sure that you all love going online and playing games and watching videos and all that good stuff. But
Absolutely.
like anything in life,
Yeah.
there are some things you got to keep in mind when you're online, you know?
Yeah, like even if you're going out to the park or if you're going to school, there are things to keep in mind. There are things to do and not to do. And it's the same thing with the internet.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, when you go outside, you got to look both ways before you cross the street.
Totally.
When you're online, you got to kind of look both ways before you click on things or share things.
Yeah, before you go on certain websites, before you, talk to certain people that you don't know, make sure you do the right thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what are some of those things we should be thinking about?
Well, I think one of the first things is content. And content can be, it can be anything really online.
Yeah.
It can be a video that you're watching,
Even.
a game, a post that you're reading.
Yeah.
And sometimes that content might not be right for your age, or
Yeah.
you might not understand it,
Yeah.
or it might make you feel uncomfortable.
It can be confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if that ever happens, the first thing to do is to stop watching it.
Yes. Hit that pause button.
Close the window. And then don't share it with anyone else. Don't send those messages or videos to your friends or your family or anyone.
Yeah.
Because that could spread something that's not right.
And the good thing about a lot of online stuff, whether it's YouTube or a social media platform, a game, whatever, they have ways to report things.
They do.
So if you're not comfortable and you really don't know what to do, always tell a grown-up, like your parents or a teacher or someone you trust.
Totally.
But you could usually go into the app itself and say like, hey, I'm not sure about this.
Yeah. Yeah. This is making me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I need help.
So we got to be careful about the content we see, but we also got to be careful about the content we share.
Oh, absolutely. Because what we share can be seen by lots of people.
Right.
And it can have consequences just like things we say or do in real life can affect others.
Yeah. You might think, oh, it's just on my phone. I'm just sharing this with my friends.
Right.
But you never know who's going to see it, It can be shared with people that you don't even know.
Yeah, it could be shared with the whole world.
It could be shared with the whole world, so you got to be really careful about that.
And sometimes we feel pressured to share information online, too.
Right, yeah. Have you ever felt that way?
Like maybe we see all of our friends posting lots of things, and we feel like we have to do the same thing.
Yeah. Or we feel like we're going to miss out on something if we don't share something.
Totally.
If we don't, post a picture of the cool sandwich we had, something,
Yeah.
And that's something to be really aware of, because sometimes you don't have to share something. And the other thing to keep in mind is that when you're creating an online profile, whether it's on social media or on a game or wherever, you should always do it with a grown-up.
Exactly. Always do it with your parents or a guardian or an older brother or sister or someone who can help you.
Someone who can help you. Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of things you need to know when you create a profile.
Yeah.
And sometimes there are questions that they ask that you might not know the answer to.
Yeah.
And it's just important to make sure you're doing it safely.
Exactly. And one of the things that you need to be really careful about, I think probably the most important thing, is not sharing your personal information.
Oh, that is so important.
Like, what kind of things are we talking about?
Like your real name,
yeah,
your phone number, where you live,
your address, your school,
the name of your school.
Yeah.
Or what after school activities you do.
Yeah.
Or your schedules.
Or even information about other people,
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Don't share information about your friends or your family online, because that's their information to share, not yours.
Exactly. So be really careful about that. Now, we all have these phones and tablets and computers, and we're on them all the time.
We are.
But it's really important to keep them safe.
Yep.
So what are some things that we can do to kind of lock them down, so to speak?
Well, the first thing you can do is use a password or a PIN on your phone or tablet so no one can get into it without your permission.
Yeah, it's like locking your front door when you leave the house.
Exactly.
You don't want people just walking in
No.
and looking at your stuff. And the same thing goes for your devices. And if you use a computer at home that other people use as well, it's really important to log out of your accounts.
Yes.
Don't just leave your email open or your social media open.
Yeah, because then someone else could go on and pretend to be you.
Exactly.
You have to log out every single time.
And that's especially important, I think, when you're on a shared device, or if you're on a public Wi-Fi network.
Oh, that's a good point.
Like at a coffee shop or something.
Yeah, because those public Wi-Fi networks, they're not always super secure, so people might be able to see what you're doing.
Yeah. So be really careful about that.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I love about the internet is that you can do so much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can play games, you can watch videos.
Right.
Yeah. You can talk to people.
Yeah.
But we also have to remember that there are real people behind those screens.
Yes. That is so, so important.
Right. Yeah.
Always remember that there's another person on the other end,
Yeah.
and they have feelings just like you.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't, go up to someone at school and be mean to them for no reason.
Right.
So you shouldn't do it online either.
Yeah, it's easy to forget that sometimes because you're not seeing the person face to face.
Mm-hmm.
You're just typing on a screen or whatever. But those words can have a really big impact on people.
And that's where empathy comes in, you know? Trying to understand how someone else might be feeling.
Yeah, putting yourself in their shoes.
Exactly.
Yeah. And also being assertive, which means like standing up for yourself and saying what you believe in, but doing it in a way that's respectful and not hurtful.
Yep.
It's
okay to disagree with someone, but it's important to be kind about it.
Yeah, exactly. So, we've talked about all these things we need to be careful about online, but it's also really important to use our critical thinking skills, right?
Absolutely. Because not everything you see online is true, right? So you have to think about what you're seeing.
Yeah.
You have to think about who's posting it.
Yeah, what's their motivation?
Exactly. What's their motivation? Is it to, make you laugh? Is it to inform you?
Yeah.
Or is it to trick you?
Yeah, or is it to make you feel bad?
Right.
So you really gotta think about that. And unfortunately, one of the things that we see a lot of online is cyberbullying.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And that's a big problem.
It is. And cyberbullying is basically when someone uses technology to bully or harass another person.
Right. And it can be just as hurtful as bullying in person.
Oh, absolutely.
So we have to take it seriously.
And sometimes people think like, oh, it's just online. It's not real.
Yeah.
But it is real because it's affecting real people.
Yeah, it's affecting people's feelings.
Yeah.
And we can all do our part to stop cyberbullying.
Yeah.
We can start by not sharing those messages or those mean jokes.
Yeah. If you see something, don't pass it on.
Right.
And if you see someone being cyberbullied,
yep,
offer them your support.
Support them.
Let them know that they're not alone.
Yeah.
That you're there for them. And if you're being cyberbullied yourself, or if you see it happening, don't be afraid to tell a grown-up.
Yes. Tell someone you trust, your parents, your teacher, a counselor. They can help.
Yeah. So we got to be careful with the games we play,
the
messages we get, the social media that we use, the videos we watch, all of that stuff.
Especially when you're downloading apps and games.
Yeah.
Always be careful about what you're downloading and make sure it's from a trusted source.
Yeah, exactly. And be careful about in-app purchases, right?
Yeah. Yes. Especially if you're playing a game and it asks you to buy something, check with your parents first.
Yeah.
Make sure it's okay.
So it can be really easy to rack up a big bill.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not careful.
Yeah, it can be really tempting to buy all those cool things.
Yeah.
But make sure you check with your parents first.
Now, I think this has been a really helpful conversation.
I think so too.
But one of the things that I really want to leave everyone with is that when it comes to online safety, there's always a solution.
There is.
Right. So if you do encounter a problem, or if you see something that makes you uncomfortable, or if something's happening that you don't know what to do about, take a deep breath.
Yep.
Think about what we've talked about. And remember that there's always someone you can talk to, and there's always a way to solve the problem.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah. So to finish up, I thought it might be fun to do a little quiz,
Okay.
just to see if you've been paying attention.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so here's the first question. Imagine you see someone being bullied online. What should you do? A, better not get involved, it's not my problem. B, tell a grown-up you trust. C, offer your help and support to the person being bullied. Or D, share the jokes on social media because everyone else is doing it.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I know, but I think you guys know the answer.
I hope so.
Okay, next question. Do you think violence exists online? A, yes, but it doesn't hurt because it's virtual. B, no, they're just jokes, it's not real. C, yes, in the form of hate messages, humiliating comments of the